Before God promotes you, a lot of times, God gives you a story. Now, what is the story? The story can be the story of your life, things you went through, things you've been through, trials, tribulations, difficult times, certain situations you went through, how you were able to come out by His grace. It's not because of anything. It's not by your might. It's not by your power. Not by your intellect. God intentionally takes His time, to build that story. A number of experiences, a lot of difficult times, near-death situations, which He puts you through, brings you out, shows you the way to come out, and all of that. Because that story is giving you. In that story are keys. In your story, in that story that He makes sure He gives you before He promotes you, in it are the keys to people's problems. In it are the keys, the key to certain things, certain areas that he realizes that a lot of His children are struggling in, through whoever He decides to choose, whoever He decides to use. He puts those people through them and then gives them the key to come out, so that when He promotes them, that information can go to His other children who are stuck in some of those situations, a number of them, so that they can also take those keys from this person and then be able to open the locks and come out of that situation. Until God is done with that story, until He's done giving you the key to certain issues, problems, situations where He has realized that a lot of His children are struggling, until He has done taking you through those processes and giving you the keys to come out and open it, so that you'll be able to help other people also come out of the same thing. Until He's done, He will not release you. So just be patient. There are a lot of believers who are not patient. Sometimes people go on. People complain. I've been here for too long. I've struggled for too long. When is this going to end? God knows what He's doing. He equips you with a story. He puts you in several situations, several settings, and then through His grace and mercy, He gives you the keys to come out of certain things, because there are a lot of His children who are in the same situation that He helped you come out of. So that's what He's doing. He's preparing a story. And so whenever it's time for you to share that story, people will be able to pick keys in certain situations that they are in to unlock themselves and come out. God wants to set His children free. God wants to set His children free. And that is what He's doing. So just be patient. Don't be in a hurry, And some of the situations you go through, just one of the things you should pray for is endurance. You need endurance. If you are one of those people He has decided to choose to put through a lot of situations, and probably He has chosen you because you can handle it, because there are a lot of people who cannot handle a lot of certain situations. People get into some situations and they get stuck there and they stay there. No. There are certain people, a few people God choose, who have what it takes, have the ability, have the endurance, have that fighting spirit to keep coming up, to keep getting up, no matter how many times they fall. And to them, He gives them keys which are designed. He gives them keys, yes, but it's not really for you. He gives you keys so that whenever He's done, is complete with that story, when that story is told, the keys will be able to set the masses, the other people, a lot of His children who have probably been crying up to Him for even more than 10 years, 20 years. So some people, God puts them in certain places, not that that's what they want to do. He allows for you to go through something and then helps you come out so that what? He gives you keys. So, and in the time and the season we're in, as the world is preparing for the last call. I'll call it the last call. I'm going to release that message maybe somewhere in the future. As God is preparing for the last call, I can make it the last altar call, a lot of these people will be coming up, people who have been stuck in places of prostitution for years, and by the grace of God, His grace and mercy, He was able to bring them out of that kind of lifestyle and situation, and He has changed them, He has washed them, He has cleansed them. He's going to bring a lot of these people. That's the time we are in. He's going to bring a lot of people from the streets, from prostitution. He's going to bring a lot of people who have been into drugs, have been into certain addiction, alcohol addictions, have been into masturbation, some, even gays and lesbians. Some of them that He has brought out because He realized a lot of people are getting stuck in some of these places. So all these people are in training, and God is preparing them. He's preparing them, He's grooming them, He's helping them come out of these places. Why? Because their story contains keys. Their story contains a process, a method of how to come out of those places, which God has identified and realized that, no, a lot of my children are stuck into this. A lot of my children are stuck into masturbation. A lot of my children are stuck into fornication. A lot of my daughters are falling victim into prostitution. He is going to bring a lot of people out there, to come and share their story, what they went through, how they came out, what process they went through, because God is preparing His people, is preparing the world for the last altar call. The last altar call is going to come, So with time, I'm going to talk about the last altar call, but this is what I'm saying now. So don't be in a hurry. Some of you have stayed in certain conditions, situations. Some of you have dealt with certain things. Some of you are still in the process. Some of you have, by the grace of God, have been able to go through a lot of very difficult things, challenging things. He's brought you out all the time, but he brings you out of one and puts you in another because He is not done with the story. He's not done with the story. He wants to give you the keys so that once He promotes you out there, you would have a keys for a lot of situations and a lot of problems that His children have been stuck in. So don't be in a hurry. Just be patient, but pray for endurance. And all that, you are still a human being. You're still a human being. You still feel pain. You still give up. You're a human being. You feel pain, you can give up. So one of the most important things is to pray for endurance, to also get the word inside of you so that the enemy will not be able to come and deceive you. When the enemy identifies that God is building a story, with you, God has given you a lot of keys which are meant to free a lot of the people the devil has kept in bondage. He's going to come on your case. So one of the things that is important is prayer. Some of the things that is important is prayer. You have to pray. You have to pray. You have to stay in your word. Stay in your word is important so that the devil doesn't come to deceive you. The devil is a deceiver. He will deceive you from being the right track to move out of something. And then all that work, all those years, all the things God has told you, all the stories God has given you, all the difficult situations you went through that He brought you out because He was building that story. All of that will be lost because any enslaver, anybody who enslaves other people doesn't want the people to be saved because what? He makes a profit on them. The reason why Pharaoh did not want to release the Israelites, even though he was being tormented, their firstborn were being killed, was because of the profit he was getting from enslaving them. Thank you once again. It is still ChristWithoutBorders.